what do parents need to do? And what do they need to know first, and then what do they need to do?
Well, first, parents need to be certainly aware of what is on a child's technology, whatever that gadget is, whether it's a cell phone, an iPad, a computer. They need to know, what are the kids getting involved in? Like right now, you may have seen, it's all over Facebook, this whole Momo app, which is basically teaching small children in the elementary ranks to take their lives by suicide.
Crazy.
So certainly Facebook deemed it, enough to put out there, and YouTube is sharing the pitfalls of it. But now every school, and I know I got a notice, and many parents got a notice that watch this Momo app, watch what your children. But some parents are vigilant and some are not. So that's why it's important. We're not just talking to the kids and the teachers, but what about the parents at home? It's like getting that message out to an entire audience. If I were the president, I would be on every channel talking about it. Unfortunately, we only get so many minutes on a TV show or a media segment. But parents certainly need to be aware of these pitfalls so that they can educate their children and monitor how much time they're on a particular gadget or the cell phone.
If a parent finds out that their child is being bullied, what should they do?
So online, it's very important. One, with a cell phone or an iPad, take a snapshot of it. Make sure you secure the evidence of what's going on so you can develop a paper trail. The next thing you want to do is make sure you're communicating via email to the teacher or the school administrator or to law enforcement. Don't just pick up the phone. There's no documentation that you even have any.
Is that for the duration, to log the duration?
So
it's like an ongoing.
So you want to make sure that there's a dialogue between you and the teacher. I have communicated this. My son was being bullied. My daughter was being bullied online. This was the predator app that they engaged in, et cetera. And then if you have to file a non-criminal complaint with the police, here's the evidence that shows what they said. I have screenshots of it. I have emails which have an IP address that I can trace. All of this stuff we try to tell parents, this is how you're going to safeguard yourself, at least if you're going to move forward with some type of civil suit or criminal charges, you have some evidence of that. In a school setting, if something is occurring, whether you're being verbally or physically harassed in some way, report it right away to your teacher so that they can address it. The challenge for many schools is that they're not educated on what bullying is, so they're not addressing it correctly, and kids aren't held to some standard of a consequence in the school for it. In New Jersey, certainly there is policy, and so within 48 hours, if I tell you that I'm being bullied, or a parent calls me as the principal and says my child is being bullied, I now have to launch an investigation. That's what we want to do in Pennsylvania. Similarly to what happened at Penn State under Jerry Sandusky. Now we have sexual abuse investigations, and we're more vigilant about what's happening under Title IX and social justice. Inequalities on a college campus. So we're being more proactive about sexual abuse within the church. This is all part of bullying. We just segregate it separately, but it's still been happening. Sexual abuse is bullying. By the clergy. That's bullying a child. We didn't even get into the manipulative, conditional, exploitative forms of bullying, which is sexual abuse. That's a whole nother segment.